Yes, yes.
Thank you. The
Yes,
most honorable Mrs. Saleja Tiwari ma'am, Principal K.V.No.1.Colaba, Mumbai, respected coordinator of this particular webinar, Mrs.
sir,
Neelam Avasti.
Shukla, sir. Mr. M.K. Shukla is the convener of the committee. He is the senior most.
Okay,
Mr.
okay.
M.K. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Sukla, also the convener of this program, and madam who contacted me for this webinar. I am very happy. Respected teachers of the Vidyalaya, and after all, the most beloved students of Colaba #1 Mumbai. So it's my really proud privilege for me that you have invited me as a guest speaker of the day in this webinar. I feel honored and pleasure to speak in this particular platform about my state and its culture as well as about Jagannath. Okay, so that's why
Aryan
you have to
J double E T.
hearing for this particular. Now, before starting,
तेरे को कुछ नहीं आता?
I must present this as that is the culture and the tradition of Orissa. And before that, yes, I am sharing my screen, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, now it is audible and visible both.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well.
Okay, so first of all, I must say to all of you that I am also dressed with my Odisha, that is the handloom. So it is the first tradition. Odisha handloom, it is a Sambalpuri handloom. So it is one of the customary. And before I start my presentation, I must start with a Sankh Dhwani, because it is the traditional and customary for this state of Odisha that whenever we start any program, we must start with a Sankh Dhwani. Let us go for this Sankh Dhwani pass. हाँ जी, सो ये रहा शंख ध्वनि उड़ीसा का। ये प्रसिद्ध है हर जगह पर, हर क्षेत्र में, और हर खुशी में हम लोग ये वाला शंख ध्वनि देते हैं. सो नाउ when you are welcoming to Orissa, you can first see the government. Dr. Ganeshi Lal is the Honorable Governor of Odisha. Mr. Naveen Patnaik ji is the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha. And this is all about Odisha because, as you know, it is one of the oldest states as far as the language is concerned. Odisha, formerly it was called as Odisha, and it is in the state of India. Before India became independent in 1947, Odisha's capital was at Cuttack. It was a very big city, and it was once upon a time, what you can say, it as a business city, and most of the people from Bali, Java, Sumatra, Indonesia, they were coming to have the marketing and business also in this city. So 2011, it got its official name, that is in Orissa to Odisha. Now the capital is at Bhubaneswar, and our language is Odia. It is a very typical language, and the population is about 4.37 crores, and emblem is mostly popular with the Konark temple, as I have seen. You will see that one. And the food is the pakhal, that is the water rice. It is the food. And dalma is also very famous. And tree, particularly Indian fig tree. And sweet is rasgulla, which will prefer that one. If you go to the history of Odisha, now it is very important because previously it was said as Kalinga, as Madam also known very well, because it is a land of, that is a war, it was between great Ashoka king and with the, that is the Raja, that is which was said as in the next, you can see here, the king is there, Kharavela. And if you can see this one, previously this Udradesh, it was known as Udradesh. The whole Odisha was not known with the Odisha, it was Udradesh and Kalinga. And this Kalinga war, as I have seen here, this particularly Buddhist monument is there. You can see that monument is kept because of the significance of King Ashoka. He was a Mauryan ruler from the Mauryan dynasty, and as you know, that he wanted to conquer all over the world, even throughout India, even up to Sri Lanka. So that's why the present day Bhubaneswar, what we have seen here, you can see that this particular river, on the bank of this river, this Buddhist monument is there, which is known as Dhaulagiri, which is known as Dhaulagiri. And King Kharvela and Ashoka fought a very severe war. The river, what you are watching, ये जो नदी आप बच्चे देख रहे हैं, ये नदी पूरा ब्लड शेड हो गया था, इतना खून खराबा हुआ, तो उससे दैट राजा ने, जो हमारे अशोका ने, उनका मन परिवर्तन कर लिया था. ही वॉज ए वेरी फाइटर, ग्रेट फाइटर, बहुत ही बड़ा रूलर थे, और वो चाहते थे कि हम ऐसे युद्ध करते जाएं. लेकिन कलिंग वार ने उनका दिमाग को पूरा बदला दिया. कैसे किया कि दैट ही वाज स्टार्टेड विथ थिंकिंग ऑफ इन ए डिफरेंट वे. तो ये जो ब्लड शेड देख के उन्होंने अपने दिमाग को चेंज किया, एंड ही स्टार्टेड कन्वर्टिंग टू बुद्धिज्म. जो बुद्धिज्म का स्प्रेड हुआ था, जो बुद्धिज्म की शुरुआत हुआ था, इन्हीं से ही शुरुआत हुई थी आफ्टर द कलिंग वार. एंड उन्होंने क्या किया, ही सेंट द पीस एमिसरीज टू वेरियस नेबरिंग नेशंस, स्पेशली टू नेपाल, टू श्रीलंका एंड टू अदर नेशंस ऑल्सो, जो एशिया में उन्होंने स्प्रेड किया था. नाउ यू कैन सी हियर दैट 1885 इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस जब सोचा था कि that it has to be, some provinces has to be divided, that time Odisha was not formed as any of the state. But as far as the administration was concerned, Odisha Congress Committee, there was a great demand from that, and on 1st April 1936, Odisha was granted as a status of a separate province. So on that day, we celebrate as the Utkal Divas. This is the significance of the day. Every year, we mark the day with so many activities, cultural items, and so many things. And even the first initially it was started with 6 districts. Only 6 districts था, जो अभी 30 districts बन गया है. आज at present in 2020, you can see that there are 30 districts in Odisha. Now, बच्चे थोड़ा ध्यान दीजिएगा, ये भुवनेश्वर जो है ना, ये बहुत ही बड़ा एक आकर्षणीय शहर है. Because it is the new city developed after the government it was formed, so इसको हम लोग कहते हैं city of temples. The many temples are there. That means thousands and thousands of temples are there. You can see one of the temple which is lying here, and that is particularly Lingaraj temple, very famous. And you see the bhaktas, particularly in the month of Ashada, they come with the water to have the puja in this Lingaraj temple. This is Lord Shiva. It's a very famous, and the deity is very, very, that means you can worship in the, from the core of your heart also. And that near to that Bindu Sagar lake, it was also formed by the king at that time. It was just like a man-made lake. You might have heard about this Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, such type of lake. It is a very big one. And sometimes this house you can see inside the lake, Lord, that is Lingaraj, went for, or sometimes goes for this particularly yatra to this particular place. मतलब उसमें नाव में वो जाते हैं, थोड़ा उनके जो पूजा यहीं पर कुछ समय के लिए होता है, फिर वो वापस आते हैं. So this is one of the culture what it has been observed in Odisha. Now if you see the art and architecture, Odisha is also very rich with this art and architecture. You can see one of the temple having a beautification of the ground, that is a garden. Temple with a garden and with a sculpture, beautiful sculpture. And there are 8 cardinal and 1 ordinal directions. You can see that it is a very beautiful place to see. If you can come down to Bhubaneswar, please visit this place, Rajarani temple. And you can see here the chitra, that is the Patta Chitra painting. It is just like one of the that is the Raja King, that is Lord, you can say Bhagwan जगन्नाथ और बलभद्र, इन्होंने घोड़ा में जा रहे थे। तो जगन्नाथ जी का जो काला घोड़ा है और बलभद्र जी का सफेद घोड़ा है, इन्होंने दही खाने के लिए एक स्थान में जाते थे, एंड दैट हैज बीन डिपिक्टेड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर picture, that is a Pattachitra painting which has been kept in the Odisha Museum, State Museum. It's a very interesting thing. Now, people of Odisha are very, you can see, they wear the ordinary sari as well as the kurta and the dhoti. This is the Aryan ethnic group which was the native from this one. You know that Indo-Aryans, they were from the central part of India and central part of Asia and came down to India. From there, some of the people are there, they are having the mother tongue of the Odia, and we can say that Odisha is also influenced by some other languages. Like suppose if you say from western part, like Chhattisgarh, and that is Hindi speaking area, some parts of Odisha, they have been influenced by Hindi, Andhra Pradesh, some Telugu, so some accent has been changed. So Odisha is also a linguistic state having so many dialects. The dialects have been changed because West Bengal, they have a Bengali culture. Some culture has been transferred to Odisha near to the northern part of Odisha also. Now, this is very important because the cuisine of Odisha, as you can see, seafood, especially because it is near to the sea. So, and that to sweet is very much dominant. You can see here, please children, you can see it's a very rare thing you will find. It is called a chenapoda, we call it, and it is rasagulla. Whatever you are getting in Mumbai also, rasagulla nowadays it in packets or in dibbas, it is going to there, and these have been packed. And rasabali is one of the very famous here. And as far as the Odisha, that is main food item is concerned, rice is the main food item with all these, even including fish, that is a macha besar, means that sorso mein wo besar bana ke wo log khate hain, and it's a standard Odia meal, whatever we say. This normal meal, Mumbai ka thali jaise hota hai, ye Odisha ka bhi thali hai. Okay, so I think you will enjoy this thali if you will come to Odisha and you will take it at Bhubaneswar, Puri or anywhere you go. But one very particular or peculiar thing is that pakhal, that is a watered rice with body, जो बड़ी होता है उसमें आपका जो उड़द दाल का बड़ी, उसको पीस के और साग भाजी जो कहते हैं, and that is one of the very peculiar food during the summer season. Summer season we enjoy such type of food, and this is जो कहते हैं ना हर घर में वाटर राइस होता है. तो कभी कभी मजाक में लोग बोलते हैं हम लोग हाथ धो के खाते हो, आप लोग हाथ धो के खाते हो. सो ये एक कॉमन थिंग है. तो डायलॉग ये होता है. और अब आपको ये भी ताजुब होगा, ये भी एक उड़ीसा में कल्चर है, एक पखाल दिवस मनाया जाता है कि उस दिन लोग हमेशा घर में हर व्यक्ति पखाल खाएंगे. तो इसी ट्रेडिशन को बचाए रखते हैं. नाउ द फेस्टिवल्स, इट्स अ वेरी नाइस थिंग टू सी that festivals, there are wide variety of festivals, and it is very peculiar that 12 मासे 13 puja. It's a 13 festivals in 12 months. That means 12 months are there, but there are 13 festivals all total, and these festivals are major festivals, and there are so many minor festivals. That means Odisha people are engaged with puja all the time. So the Shankhanad, what you have फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लिसन टू दैट वन. ये हमारे स्कूल की एक लड़की है जिन्होंने ओडिसी डांस भी करती है और शंखनाद भी करती है. वो नेशनल डांसर भी थी हमारा EBSB में, नेशनल डांसर 2018 में, और हम लोग भी कोलाबा गए थे, वो भी गई थी वहाँ. ओके, सो दैट टाइम शी वाज विद इन माय टीम आल्सो, आई वेंट देयर. सो दैट वाज अ वेरी पिकुलियर थिंग. सो वेल नोन फेस्टिवल में रथ यात्रा, वेरी फेमस, वर्ल्ड फेमस रथ यात्रा, lakhs of people. Last before year, when this year pandemic situation was there, that's why there was a restriction, but 10 lakhs or more than 10 lakhs people, they joined in this Rath Yatra. It's a huge gathering. And after that, Durga Puja is very common, Kali Puja during the Diwali, and Nuakhai, especially in the western part of Odisha, they have a special. Nuakhai means that the new rice, new food crop, it has grown, harvested. So they will take that rice in that particular field, sitting over that field. So it was a tradition in that particular area, Nuakhai. And this is Baisakhi, what you say that Pana Sankranti is our Baisakhi. And that is the beginning of the new season or the new season. And that is called as the cultivation season. And Kartika Purnima, it is a very significant, what I was telling, the Katak, especially it was famous with Kartika Purnima because the businessmen coming from Java, Sumatra and Indonesia, they are having the boito, means the boats, and they are coming to have some business in Cuttack city. So that's why it was started with Kartika Purnima. You can see here, world famous, that is the sand artist, is sitting at Puri. He is none other than Sudarsam Patnaik. Sudarsam Patnaik, you see the art near to the sea coast of Puri sea beach, and he is doing a wonderful art, and it's world famous. Even in the Konark festival also, he used to show many art like this. Okay, so it's a very wonderful thing to see and beautiful location, that is the sea beach of Puri and Konark. Now, it is very popular as known as the Odyssey music or the Odyssey dance. The girl who was having that Sankhanad is herself is dancing, you see. She is a Odyssey dancer. I took the photograph from her. And this Odyssey music is a very rhythmic music and it's a classical dance. You might have seen those dance forms in the various platforms. And besides that, this is another dance form which is very popular. These are the boys. These are the boys you can see here. And they have been dressed with the girls and doing the, that is the dance. It is known as Goti Puo. This is Goti Puo. And this is Bago Nacho. It's very famous. Bago Nacho means forming as a, just like a tiger. Seems to be a tiger, but dancing with a tiger form. Okay. Now, yes. So other dance forms, it is known as Chow. Chow is one of the dance form from Jharkhand, and it is in the northern part of our Odisha, Mayurbhanj district. It is one type of, basically, it is a martial art type, and they are having some mukhota. You can see here that they are having some mask, and wearing a mask, dancing, and with fighting form is very wonderful. It is another, is a Ghumra dance. It is a colloquial dance of the local people of Odisha, and we can see that this is very popular. And this dance you must have seen in TV also, Dalkai, especially the western part of our Odisha, Sambalpuri dance. Is Sambalpuri dance is very popular.